bumming my phone. My phone blowing up. Come on. You need to go home. Get out. Call me Felicia. High school romance. Aww. Now you got a boyfriend. Come on. And I'm still a drug addict. Puff, puff. Hold up. I need a fucking blow up. I need a fucking bang. I need some fucking rain. I need a bang.
Guys, don't think about it too much. It's okay if people don't show up to your podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 5 of the Pool Boy Show with my friend Sam, your friend Adele. How's it going, man?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, man. It's 12 o'clock. It's we're doing a day thing. So notice the Timmy's. Shout out Timmy's. So
Shout out.
Canadian.
Yeah, sponsor us, please.
You come out. We need at least something.
Pretty sure we're being big marketing for you right now.
And I mean, we're supposed to have a guest.
We're supposed to have a guest, which was Adele's friend, who's an artist.
Yeah. But I mean, his name will go unspoken because he doesn't deserve the clout at this point, you know?
Okay,
so he will remain untold of, okay, until he shows up. He might show up later or he might not. But go fuck yourself, Junaid.
Yeah, I was looking forward to meeting him.
Yeah, he's all right, man. He's all right. So when we're going to be able to have people actually show up to our podcast, I think that's when we're going to actually be onto something. You know what I'm saying?
Guys, by the way, Patreon. First 10 people that sign up to Patreon, one of them gets a spot right here.
And you better show up.
And you better show up if you imagine we get stood up by a Patreon member.
Unsubscribes. I don't want to go on your fucking podcast.
Yeah, fuck that shit. Here's $7. Peace.
I thought he'd be like more like, you know, support your local artists, you know? I thought he'd be like, yo, I'm gonna support my local artists.
Who?
The fucking guest, bro.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you thought he would support us because his cloud is bigger?
Not really, but
I felt like, I thought he was like, from what the feeling I had, it was like, okay, this guy's enthusiastic about the Pool Boy Show. He wants to support it.
Yeah, I mean, we were like
He
high on
wants to come
shrooms when we made the plan. And I think he texted me yesterday saying, yo, can we do it at 11 because he has to drop off my friend at work.
Yeah.
But I was too high watching a movie. So I'm like, I'm not going to answer my phone. It was like on the counter and it was like literally an arm away. I could have definitely answered. But I wake up today at like 7:30, 8 o'clock. And then I text him and he doesn't answer. So I think it's a bit my fault, but for the sake of the Pool Boy Show, fuck it, it's his fault.
Yeah. I would say it's a half-half. It's like...
Who the fuck are you to say it's a half-half?
The co-host.
Hey. Oh, yeah, that's true.
Okay, yeah. So, we were talking about this right before we started the show. And I was talking about how, like, this era that we're going through feels so chaotic.
Yeah. Like, you mean because of Omicron and fucking...
Yo, all kinds of variants. People are so divided right now.
Yeah.
And social media and like the internet is not helping because there's so much information out there.
Did you hear... I listened to a Joe Rogan podcast with Tim Dillon.
Okay.
It got released last week.
Okay.
And I was so stoked because it's like...
You loved him. And
Tim Dillon,
Joe.
I fuck with him hard.
Yeah.
And Joe Rogan, you know, he's funny as well. But the podcast was amazing. And they were like talking about a guest that Joe Rogan had on not too long ago. And he was like basically talking about alternative medication to COVID, you know? And he was talking about that with Tim Dillon last week. And yesterday, I think I heard news that people are like, talking shit, saying that we should like censor the episode, saying that Spotify should censor their cash cow, which is Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan.
Yeah. And I was listening to the podcast. I'm like, this is not going to go over well. I'm like, oh my goodness, what are they saying? Like, Tim Dillon has like the ability to make people say crazy shit, you know, because of his sarcastic tone, ironic tone almost. So he was just saying shit, and Joe Rogan was like, "Yeah, man, like, just like on board with a whole bunch of like kind of like crazy theories." But like, what Joe Rogan was saying basically is that the pills that he took, you know, like alternative medication, which is like hydroxychloroquine.
Yeah, I don't even know. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce
hydroxychloroquine. Is that it? Hydroxychloroquine.
Yeah, maybe
That's
it's
right,
that.
baby.
Is that what it is?
I think so, yeah. And there's some couple of other ones. But yeah, so I wonder what the fuck is gonna happen with that. And people are just censoring people, bro. It's like I've been listening to a lot of documentaries on like Hitler and shit these days. And man, there's a lot of similarities, man.
What's messed up about our time is that it feels like somebody called it on an article a infodemic. It's just information right now is spreading like wildfire, and you could find whatever your heart wants to believe in pretty much online.
Yeah.
And I remember there was this guy on my Facebook sharing the idea. Is like, yo, bro, COVID's not real. You could just use green tea. And I'm like, what the fuck, green tea? And then I just for fun, I wrote on Google, does green tea cure COVID? Articles upon articles, bro. Of links upon links.
Of green tea curing COVID.
Yeah. I was like, yo, this is like mind boggling because
oh my goodness.
I could just start writing, yo, biting into a tomato is gonna cure your COVID. Like, try it, trust me. And like, I just start writing blogs about it, and I like pump up the SEO so that it shows up on Google on the first page as soon as you write tomato or like, like.
But that's insane because
it's terrifying.
Yeah, and like I don't know where it was. I think it was in Mexico or another country in South America, and they were saying like putting fucking bleach in your blood, you know. So they would do like bleach concoctions that they would just like intravenous straight into the people's fucking, and people were like buying into it, and like some TV personalities were co-signing it and shit. So it's an actual thing over there. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. And what I think is super interesting with the Joe Rogan thing is that people, like their response, like, I don't know, it was like some officials of the government, American government or some shit, or the science community, and they were saying things like, this type of information should not be available and they should not be spreading it on the internet. People should do what is the good thing to do is to get a shot, right? So now like the narrative is like more and more like your civic duty is to get a vaccine, right? And like, which I don't have anything against, but when people start like, I don't know, kind of obliterating the other side and just sticking to one story without necessarily listening, you know, you get into a situation that's very, very dangerous, you know, because it's like the people's ideas, and you could get to a point where people are afraid to have ideas, you know what I'm saying? Like, for example, and share them. Like, for example, me. Yeah. I'm literally scared to like talk about this shit with certain people because I'm scared they're gonna like just fucking go crazy on me or just fucking unfollow me on Instagram.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
There's a few things I want to mention about what you're just saying. I think what's the most dangerous, like I've seen.
Put your volume up. Give me a second.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
So, yeah, it is better. I can hear myself better. So there's a few things I want to mention about that. I think what's dangerous is like the people that are on the far side of any spectrum and are not open-minded at all to hearing anything other than their own opinion. I think those are like dangerous people. I like to approach things with an open mind. So I have like unvaxxed friends and I have vax friends, and they both say like really compelling arguments. But for the most part, like after hearing both sides and like listening to, I guess, content online and just listening to my own intuition, vaccines are a scientific like breakthrough. You know, like we used to like not be able to live to like 100, and a huge part of that is like the medical advances that we've had. And I think vaccine plays a huge role in that. Okay, yes, there is maybe like one out of like, I don't know, what is it, 1,000 of people that like don't react
even more
well.
I think that have like an adverse reaction, I guess.
Yeah. There's definitely always going to be a percentage or some very small percentages that don't react well to it. But overall, believe the science. I believe in science, you know?
Yeah, yeah,
At
exactly.
the end of the day, I'm going to believe in science.
Yeah, so, like, yeah, go for it.
So yeah, that's pretty much what I want to say. But I think that our biggest problem is censorship and data online and information and social media.
Yeah, what's
That's
crazy is that
fucking with us.
what's crazy is that when people start saying like Joe Rogan censor him on Spotify, okay, because he's having a conversation, long form conversation about COVID with a comedian. And what's crazy is that like I listened to the whole podcast and he's clearly saying like I'm an idiot, okay? Like I say like I'm an idiot, I'm a fucking pedestrian, you know what I'm saying? And people are just going to go and take snippets of what he says. Like for example, he says at some point that you know the COVID vaccine is an RNA vaccine. So it's like you know, it plays with like your RNA code, tells your I guess your genes. I'm an idiot, guys. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but it has something to do with like it tells your DNA how to produce the
antigen. I think it's antigen.
Yeah, or whatever to fight against COVID.
Yeah.
And then he says, what we're going through right now with this mass vaccine is gene therapy. Okay, so he's like, he goes and says that since this mass vaccine that's like given to millions and millions of people is a form of gene
modification.
Yeah, or he says like gene like research almost, you know, with like a gigantic pool of people, you know. So like the person that's into conspiracy theories is gonna think that the government is putting, I don't know, reptile sperm in our blood to turn us into fucking
reptiles.
Yeah, or some shit like that, you know. But so people go and they say that Joe Rogan said it was gene therapy, and he says that is misinformation. And I think it's probably true that it's misinformation. I'm not sure if it's gene therapy or not. But to say that you're gonna fucking mute somebody because of he's having a long form conversation with a comedian, bro, online, and people are gonna say, oh well, he has a responsibility because he has all of these views. And to those people, I'm like, the guy's still allowed to have a fucking a voice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's allowed to have a voice.
He's allowed to have a voice.
He definitely shouldn't be censored. But I could see how dangerous it is when like there's like, I guess doctors that are less conventional that show up on his podcast and that have just a different theory or approach to the whole COVID thing.
With hydroxychloroquines.
Yeah. However you say that. And that's where there was a lot of problem because I read an article about a virologist like listening to the podcasts of him with the doctors, and the doctor was like saying, oh, it was drug preventable. The pandemic is like a mass hypnosis of like society.
This is on Joe Rogan.
Where the doctor like it went like super viral.
Yeah.
And everyone shared it. And yo guys, we're being mass hypnotized.
Wake up, sheeple.
Wake up. Oh my God. And then there's a bunch of virologists and scientists and doctors who like signed off a petition that that podcast in specifically
is misinformation.
Is massive misinformation. And at the same time, it's like, yeah, if I'm a virologist or doctor or somebody who really understands that shit, and I hear people like running their mouth and like saying shit that isn't founded in science.
It goes against science.
Yeah, it goes against science. And then you're like, yeah, it is concerning because Joe Rogan gets more views than all of CNN, CNBC, all those
and more than any
mainstream-
scientist as well, except for maybe Dr. Fauci.
Which I don't know who that is.
Dr. Fauci is the guy who is the epidemiologist that works for is the head of health or whatever in the United States.
Okay. The health minister or whatever?
Yeah, I wish I knew that shit. Who is Dr. Fauci? I'm asking Siri real quick. Anthony Esteban Fauci is an American physician and immunologist serving as the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease, chief medical advisor of the president.
Okay, yeah.
So he has like a very important role. Yeah.
But yeah, at the end of the day, like it is true that fucking Trump took a drug and fucking healed from it. He's at the top of the pyramid when it comes to important people.
There's a whole bunch of like Hollywood stars that aren't taking the vax. Like this is something that Tim Dillon said on the Joe Rogan podcast that I thought was so interesting. He said, you remember when Black Lives Matter was a thing? All of Hollywood was posting videos about, you know, BLM and like taking parts. Taking
side with the black people.
Taking sides, yeah. When all this vaccine stuff is happening, you don't see Hollywood saying a fucking word, bro, because they got the fucking drugs. They don't believe the narrative of, you know,
Vaccination.
of vaccination or whatever the fuck is going on right now. And they have access to the top doctors and whatever, their own science or whatever.
Yeah.
And they don't take the fucking vaccine. A lot of them don't. You know what I'm saying?
There's going to be a lot of communities that isolate themselves from what's happening right now.
Yo, I have a friend
like the Jewish community.
Yo, like the black community, bro. Like I'm not saying all the whole black community, but my friend who's coming over later, he's been telling me that he wasn't gonna get vaxxed. Like when I got vaccinated, he was afraid of me. Like, you know, he didn't want to, like, you know,
yeah?
he thought I was infectious. Like I was gonna spew RNA vaccines from my eyes or some shit. But I don't know exactly what he thought. But the more and more this goes on, I'm like, fuck, he might have been right. I'm like, goddamn, might have been right. But he's also a crazy conspiracy theorist. He's like, Corona, what does Corona mean, man? It means king, man. It means the king. It means the crown. Crown, bro. They're putting the crown in your blood, bro. The queen's crown is in your blood, bro.
Oh, wow. Yeah, this is what's scary. It's like there's so much information out there. It's just like you have so many people that have a different belief system now.
Yeah.
And it's just like, but at the same time, it's like,
bro, if you're going to fucking censor these people,
don't.
How are we supposed to have a conversation?
Yeah,
How are we
can't.
supposed to, like, it's like, same thing with science. Like if you have a theory, you go and you prove it. And if you prove a certain theory, well, people are gonna try and disprove that theory. Like, and if that theory goes disproven for long enough, well, it becomes like a real fucking thing, you know?
Yeah.
Like, how are you supposed to have a conversation if you're going around fucking muting people? How are we supposed to know who the fucking bullshitting artists are if we're gonna mute them? Because what happens is that they start fucking going in their frail little communities where you don't hear about them, and next thing you know, we don't have an eye on them, and something else happens. You know what I'm saying? They need to be part of the conversation.
No, they have to be. I don't think censorship is the solution.
And honestly, that's what Spotify is kind of, I don't know if they censored Joe Rogan. I don't think they ever will. But like, if he was on YouTube, he would. And I think that was part of his move, Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
It was a smart move because YouTube, bro, is becoming like
filtered.
The
most censored.
filthy filtered fucking.
Yeah, a lot of people are getting strikes on YouTube right now.
It's fucking crazy. And like, even if you put certain words, even if you say certain words.
You say
even,
COVID or pandemic.
Yo, boom. This
We're not getting any views. It's over.
Demonetized. Finished. I don't know. Let's pack up.
Pack up. Let's leave.
COVID vaccine pandemic. All right, let's bounce. But bro, I saw this coming back to Dr. Fauci. You were saying like Joe Rogan has more he has more listeners than Dr. Fauci, which I'm not sure is true, but I saw this ad of like Dr. Fauci on American television, and it was like his daughters saying of how much of a good dad he is, like, you know, kind of like making him human, you know. And I was watching documentaries on Hitler and shit, and like, bro, the fucking things, like the propaganda that he would put, you know, that he would
Create, yeah.
distribute to the German people was like same thing. Look, Hitler with his dog. Look, Hitler with his family. Look, Hitler with his, you know, for the people. And yeah, I don't know. It's scary as fuck.
Apparently, he was like on Adderall.
Dude,
The whole time.
his drug regiment was
It was crazy, no?
insane. Okay, he was on like methamphetamines through the veins. You know what I'm saying? He had by the end of his career like a tremor, a shake. It was, what's it called? It's when you get old and you can't move.
Alzheimer's?
No, it's. Anyways, he was shaking like crazy, but apparently more and more people are saying that it was due to like too many amphetamines or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Like he was on, and there was one doctor who's prescribed drugs to him and the Clintons and a whole bunch of other fucking top dog. He's like the, you know, these people exist, man. These doctors exist.
For sure.
Same thing for like, what I think is super interesting is like fighting camps, like, you know, like MMA gyms, you know, if you're on a high enough level, you could hire a fucking doctor, you know, and make you those supplements that nobody's gonna ever catch on to.
Yeah, there was actually a Netflix documentary about a cyclist who did that on Netflix. And essentially, like, he works like hand in hand, gets on Zoom calls with a doctor. He's like, okay, when do I pee? Okay, yeah, pee now. Okay, make sure you drink the water, and then after the water, we're gonna run the medication through you again. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
crazy.
and then like you see him like needling himself and like doing the whole regiment in order to like go under the radar, and then he ends up like not performing as well as he wanted to, and then he's devastated. And yeah. Anyways, I don't think I finished it, but yeah, there's definitely is a world
For
where
sure.
Fucking yeah. You
Like
try to
if you
cheat,
look at
man.
Hitler, he's for sure on drugs. Like
sure,
look
yeah,
at him,
yeah,
he is
100%.
insane, and like his story is insane. He was part. I think, head of the populist movement in Germany, and he was head of the populist movement in Germany, and he did a coup like early in his career that failed. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I think I remember.
And
that.
there's like the New York Times, like they write an article like it's the end of for Hitler. So he is kind of goes to jail for 9 months because he organized a coup against the German government.
I'm surprised he only got 9 months. A coup is
A coup,
pretty
yeah,
foul.
it's crazy. It's crazy.
sure.
So he like kind of like had a militia of people, and I don't know what he tried to do, but it was violent, and it didn't go over well, and he failed. 9 years later, he becomes head of the state because the president died and gave him control. He wrote a book after his jail thing, Mein Kampf, which became like a crazy bestseller.
Well, what does that mean?
My Kampf, I think, is my story or
My story,
something.
okay.
I think, I'm not sure. But it popped off, and then he became the president, So, Donald Trump, for example, with when was it? In January, I think.
Like
The
4 years
attack. No, but the attack on the
Attack on who?
on the Congress there in DC.
Yeah.
When was that?
When they took over, but that was during his presidency.
Yeah,
That was like
exactly.
2
But
years ago, maybe.
but it was towards the end of it.
Oh yeah, maybe a year ago.
And it failed, right?
Yeah.
And people are saying that Donald Trump is gonna go back into the elections in 2024.
He is.
Watch him win.
He will.
And then become the next motherfucking like Hitler, because he is, his tone is the same as the Hitlers. It's for the people. We're tired of people disrespecting America. In Germany, people after the First World War, like Germany was in a shit show. Like a hellhole, basically crazy inflation, couldn't even buy bread. And that's when Hitler came, because the whole world was disrespecting or
Not respecting Germany. And you're
Same thing
broke
with-
and you need somebody to look up to. You're like, I'm gonna
look
fight
at
for
the
this.
financial situation in America right now. It's not easy for a lot of people. Watch him come back after he's gonna write a book, and watch him. It's the same fucking story, bro. It's the same story, bro.
What's crazy is that like there seems to be more homicides in Montreal, and I'm starting to think like, are we like trickling into like anarchy, like slowly and slowly? Like more and more people are going broke or being depressed or using substance to cope.
I don't think it's ever gonna be anarchy.
Maybe not anarchy. Maybe
think
we're far
it's-
away, hopefully, from that.
Yeah, but I think honestly, anarchy would almost be better than like having a whole bunch of people buy into a seriously dangerous narrative. Like the narrative of like, again, Hitler, or we could get there easily, bro. We could get there easily. Like say that
No, but anarchy is like it's a nightmare.
no
bro.
system. It's like no system.
It's no system, and like it's a free for all, bro. It's
Yeah,
like-
exactly. But I don't know. I think anarchy is a complicated subject, and I think
Yeah.
people could like argue against the fact that it would be total. It's funny because you could say total anarchy, and it doesn't sound good. You say total anarchy, you're definitely in trouble.
Yeah. No, we definitely don't want that. But it's just like, man, yeah, there's
It's
just a lot of
fucked up.
divide. There's a lot of divide right now, man. It's just like
fucked
people believe what they want to believe, and they don't,
Yeah. And the public opinion is like something that is like being fought for right now, and it's kind of crazy to see like people like, for example, Joe Rogan, again, when he gets like, if he gets censored, it's like, what the fuck does that mean, bro? What does that mean for society? Like,
Yo, we're fucked.
we're fucked.
Yeah, if that happens, we're going into like
We're
China
fucked.
vibes.
They're gonna come knocking at your door with a third dose up the bum bum, fourth dose up the bum bum.
Yeah, it's scary times, man.
Yeah, bro.
Now that we talk about it like that,
With the bum bum, when the bum bum comes in,
no,
gets involved.
when censorship starts really going hard at it, then we're fucked.
Yeah,
Because now there's like no
way
like,
out.
There's no way out. It
Yeah,
feels like.
and also because people are like voluntarily buying into this narrative, you know.
But what's also massively dangerous is like, okay, yo, if Joe Rogan does get 10 million views per podcast or per show or whatever, or even maybe more, and there's a doctor that comes and says like, yeah, like fuck, like the vaccine doesn't work. But what if the vaccine does work? You know,
It
Like,
does work.
for the most part. It does work.
It does work, but it's the idea that if we're able to get a whole bunch of people to take a vaccine and eliminate the people that have a different opinion than us, then this is looking a lot like China. And what if this happens again? This is going to be routine. You know what I'm saying? If we get rid of COVID and something else happens or whatever, or we get into war or something, we're going to think back at this, you know, and people are going to know that we could get our liberties that, you know, the Quebec people, bro, we took it up the bum real quick.
No,
We went on our
pushovers.
all fours and we just
Pushovers.
went, François Legault in here.
Yeah. No, he did whatever the fuck he wanted to do. Honestly,
Au
It
Québec,
was-
c'est it.
Yeah, and you feel like such a black sheep as soon as you like speak out against it. And the only thing you can do really is to write an emotional,
Facebook comment.
poor written Facebook fucking post, and then be self-conscious about it, and then delete it like 24 hours later. Like that's really all the fight.
That is routine.
That's all the fight that you
That-
have.
That's all the fight I have in me, man. I gave it my all, man.
Give it my all. And
I wrote the enter.
yeah, you're like, oof, ooh, shit. Okay, let me delete this now. But yeah, man, there's not much you could do. You could write letters to like your mayor or like some sort of minister.
Je veux pas prendre le vaccin. Write
Yeah.
a letter. I don't want to take the vaccine.
I feel like people do like I think it's unethical to obligate by law somebody to take something that they don't want that is not 100% effective. Like it's not like, yo, for sure, like this is an absolute truth.
Yeah.
This is like the laws of physics.
Yeah.
Like for sure you take this, you're unbeatable, you're
Yeah.
gonna save the world. Like it's not that. It's like, yo, we're like 95%.
It's crazy because they were learning about it and they were just saying things and we're like, yep. They're like, yeah, 90%. If you get a vaccine, 90% efficiency, you're not gonna get COVID, you know. And now it's back to 70, and now it's like 30%. If you got to get a booster, and you're gonna have, if you got a booster plus the second booster,
No,
and
but-
you got your 2 shots, well, you have a formula for that. You have 1 booster times 1 booster equals.
Yeah, but
You know?
apparently they say that it's actually 2 vaccines. You catch COVID, you build a natural immune system, and you get a booster. That is the ideal state that you want to be in.
Come back, I'm completely immune. You're broken.
Yeah, you're a fucking
You're
vegetable.
a fucking vegetable, but at least you're,
You're
immune
like,
to COVID.
like Stephen Hawking's level
Yeah.
vegetable.
I beat COVID.
I beat COVID and I figure out the universe. beep, 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 beep. Like, oh man, these are tough times, man.
Yeah.
Tough times. And yeah, do you feel the darkness? Like when you're walking around the city and whatnot, everybody has a mask, everybody's afraid. Some people,
Yeah.
and like, but I was thinking about this. I'm like, yeah, a lot of the people that are like really struggling with this, you don't see on your newsfeed.
No.
This is what we're doing. We're all on social media just chilling.
Yeah.
There's still girls like showing their fucking asses every minute.
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
get
yeah.
mesmerized by that.
Yeah.
And then you see some like poor written argument, people going crazy online.
Yeah.
Yeah, like either like pro-vax that are saying, yeah, tax the unvax. Yeah, fuck that. Yeah, yo, I'm tired of this shit. Like they're putting all their anger on the non-vax. And then the non-vax are like, yo, you guys are fucking sheeps for following this shit. And it's just like you're getting bombarded by information. And then at the same time,
but at TikTok, bro. At the same time, TikTok, you have these fucking dances.
fucking little baddies who are like 19-year-old angel looking like girls, like fucking dancing in front of your thing. So you just get distracted by that.
At the same time, the fucking grandma down the street is actually dying from COVID.
Yes, there's that.
You know?
And then there's like a side like advertisement like, yo, NFTs, you could become rich today if you buy this little
Yeah.
fucking cat that looks like he's on Molly with a fucking hat on. Like, what? Really? And
Yeah.
you're just overwhelmed with like information. You're just getting bombarded. And as of late, I've been feeling like fucking distracted. bro.
Yeah.
I'm just like, yo, there's so much going on.
I can't believe how distracting TikTok is. I literally can't believe it. Like I opened the app. Like first of all, I wake up in the morning, 5 notifications. I'm like, I'm not into TikTok like that. Who the fuck could be sending me notifications? Psych. Open the app, no notifications. Get pulled into a fucking
You get
thing for
hypnotized.
15 minutes.
Yeah, you get hypnotized real
But
quick.
these motherfuckers made me think it was 5 notifications. I thought I had friends, man. But literally no. Psych.
It's like Instagram too. Like I get notified. It's like, yo, this person that you haven't spoken to ever is shared
Posted.
a story today.
And I'm like,
Like,
I
oh.
wonder when I share a story, do people get that notification? If not, how do I have that happen? Pool boy shared a story.
Yeah, that'd be great. But yeah, man, this oversaturation of information, content.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do you reduce all the noise? Do you really like go off the grid? But then the thing is, like, I've tried the no social media thing for like months at a time. And you sincerely feel like you don't exist.
Yeah. You're in the actual darkness.
Yeah. You like the feeling of being a child and like people like acting like you're transparent about you and having that panic attack. Like, mom, can you see me? Like, dad, can you see me? And everyone's pretending like they don't see you. Like, mom, it's me. I'm right here. They did a prank on a guy, on a little kid. Oh my god, it was so
poor
funny. They
kid.
all acted like he disappeared. They did a magic trick. Like, oh yo, where is he? And they all act like that. And the kid starts like crying.
For sure,
Yeah,
dude.
bro, he was tripping. But that's what it feels like essentially when you don't have fucking social media, man. And it's like, okay, what do I want? Do I want my sanity? Do I want to feel like I exist and I could connect with people? And you could have this conversation over and over again. But the thing is, you're gonna probably stick around on social media.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Yeah.
And especially with our
Yeah. People,
Ventures
stick
and-
on social media. Like, subscribe. Social media is great.
no, you could definitely take a break from social media, like
but not from the Pool Boy show.
not from the Po' Boy show, because
Absolutely
we
not.
make you feel like you're a part of us and you're not being judged and you're accepted for
Who
whatever
you are.
decisions you decide to make for your life and your health. So yeah,
You're great. You're great. You're doing good. You're doing good.
you guys are doing great.
You're doing
You look
great.
good, by
You
the
look
way.
good, man. You look good.
So yeah, what do we do? What do we do about this?
I think more and more the idea of having a podcast is becoming more and more it makes more and
Mainstream.
more sense
Yeah.
for us. I feel like where we're going as a society and stuff, it's going to be more and more important for people to have like a
Conversations.
voice. Yeah. And conversations. And hopefully like this could become a space where we could like, you know, have conversations and not get censored and maybe like have like remnants of what being a human is actually about, you know, which is like, you remember when we used to sit
Yeah,
down and
listening.
have tea together and like talk about give me the tea, you know?
Yeah,
now it's
like-
not that anymore, bro.
yeah.
Now we look at TikTok videos of people giving the tea to other people, bro.
And what's scary too, man, it's like even for me, like I have a entrepreneurial side to me, and I'm always like trying to look for, I guess, the next thing that's going to make me go rich overnight or whatever. But
Yeah.
not overnight, but you know what I
Yeah,
mean.
the
And
next
then
thing, yeah.
and then I'm like, every time I dived into like a rabbit hole of like stock market, I went deep into the stock market. Now all my stocks are down. I try to like fall into the rabbit hole of like crypto. My crypto's down, and then I see like NFT come up, and I'm like, yo, I've been in this relationship, toxic ass relationship
Yeah,
before,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
I don't know if I want to make the jump to NFTs
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
there's so many influencers too that are getting paid to push an NFT, a
Yeah.
certain project.
Yeah, yeah.
So a lot of the times, like these artists will like be like, yo, I could create NFTs. I just need a marketing team. And then marketing team is like, okay, well, let's reach out to influencers on YouTube and be like, yo, can you pump this for $1,000 a YouTube?
Of course, yeah,
And
yeah.
obviously, you, for the most part, like if you're on YouTube, you're probably like a struggling creative unless you have like millions of views. But and $1,000 for somebody who just has $500 in their fucking bank account is a lot of money.
yeah.
And for the most part, they'll take it and they'll start pushing this art piece and like, yeah, this is the next up and coming thing. And then people like me or like everybody who kind of wants to get ahead financially is like, yeah,
we're
sure,
gonna
I'll
buy,
buy
Are you
it.
gonna buy NFTs? I think there's
Yeah,
two sides of
buying,
NFTs.
buying.
Yeah, but you
I'm
can
not gonna
make
create it.
NFTs.
Yeah,
you
I know you can make, but for the most part, right now, it's like that digital art.
Yeah, exactly. But people are doing it with music. People are doing
Yeah.
it with
Like if you're a dope ass artist, you can
or
sell
like
your
people,
stuff.
people like
Your samples or
advertising
whatever.
companies go on these NFT banks and they lease like generic songs for their ads. You know, I heard this. Like, there's like you could let's say you own an NFT, like let's say you make a generic happy beat or whatever.
and people want to use it for the commercial.
Dove, you know,
Yeah.
but they lease it for the commercial, and
get paid.
yeah, and they get paid, and you know, apparently
Yeah.
it's becoming more and more of a thing.
And I was listening to this like YouTuber talk about NFTs, and he was just like, he's like 98% of NFTs are gonna fucking crash and burn. It's like Gary Vee was talking about it. He's like, it is kind of like the .com bubble. Like in '95, the .com bubble, there was massive confusion because people were like, "Oh, internet? What is internet?" And people were like, "Yeah, people talk online. They're gonna sell stuff online." Everyone's like, "What? Okay." And then everybody in the stock world or any entrepreneur who's paying attention to the stock market just started buying up any company that just had a website. Like if you had a website back in '95, you were like ahead of the curve. La. Now,
Yeah.
now a 14-year-old could start a website like
Yeah.
within like 5 minutes.
An
You know,
8-year-old could start
An-
with that.
an 8-year-old.
Also, bro, what's crazy is like websites like GoDaddy that just buy
Domain
website names. Yeah, domain names.
Yeah.
I always thought that was amazing.
Yeah, like a
How
lot
do
of
you think of all of the potential domain names?
No, but
like
you
there's
use
for sure-
coffee.com. Like obviously,
Yo, the Pool Boy Show for sure.
Yeah, there you go. Adele, Kazi.com.
But that's for sure already. You have to buy it off of GoDaddy because they already made the domain name.
They thought of that. They thought of this podcast too. They knew they foresaw this.
GoDaddy is God,
Yeah.
actually. He all knowing.
Yeah, but a lot of people did buy it off of GoDaddy and banked on the idea that, oh, okay, I could buy it for $50 on GoDaddy. I could buy podcast.com, let's say.
For $50, and then like the guy who actually wants podcast.com, well, you
Yeah.
sell it for 10.
Yeah, 10 grand. He's like, yo, I want $10,000. A lot of people made money like that too. But
Yeah, you could also sell Instagram accounts.
yeah, you can do that. But yeah, all this to say that like a lot of these NFTs, a lot of people are gonna get burnt buying NFTs or trying to flip it. Or even like dedicating a lot of your time to like try to create a NFT digital art gallery, because this is what people are doing. I think from what I understand, they're creating like, let's say 10,000 pieces, and they're like, this is 10,000 limited edition pieces, and then they build a website, and then I guess they either do their own marketing or they hire people to do the marketing for that website and that NFT. But what's interesting now is that people who are actually trying to create some sort of functionality behind the NFT so that it has some sort of value besides the fact that it's just
That you
an
own
original
it?
piece,
Yeah.
is that they're adding reality-based like packages to the NFT. So it's like, okay, guys, if you're part of the 10,000 people that are part of this community of NFTs, you get to get invited to this private yacht once a year, where we all gather together, and the only way to access it,
Or we touch children with Epstein.
yeah, with Epstein, because guess what? I find a replacement for Maxwell.
Oh,
There's a new secretary. There's a new coordinator
Yeah. With the lunchbox.
with the
You get
lunchbox,
to the island, you get the lunchbox.
personal note, and everything.
Aw.
So yeah, and the only way to get into this special island yacht party is by having that original piece of NFT. So now I could see the value in being a elite pedophile that goes to an island. No, I'm kidding. But I see the value of like NFTs where reality-based private events, and everything is becoming very much so like you need passports to like maneuver through society, and it's going to becoming more and more like that. And I feel like there's a more and more of a divide between rich and broke people.
Yeah, but what do you mean by passport? Like, if
Like-
you want to go to the private island to touch little kids, you need to buy this NFT.
The NFT thing is going to become like I feel like it's going to be very reflective of people's beliefs. So it could be like the unvaxxed gang NFT people, and it's like, okay, yo, we meet once a year at this party or whatever, this special, and you need this NFT unvaxxed gang. It could be whatever community you just.
Because at the end of the
create.
day, the NFT is just a code. You
it's
know what I'm
just,
saying?
it's just a code that
Guarantees that you are the only person that
yeah,
owns
you're the
this
only
thing.
person that owns that shit. And a lot of people are like repulsed by the idea of NFTs. And Gary Vee made a good point. He's like, yeah, it's because like we're becoming the older people that are skeptical about new things, kind of like our mothers and our fathers were when we were introducing all the new stuff to them. And they're like, get out of here with that social media, man. Why are you posting a podcast talking about you masturbating at 13? Like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? Like, trust me, mama, trust me, papa, I have a dream. I'm going to make it as a podcaster. And they're like, no, you need to go give out some CVs.
So I just got a text from the guy who's supposed to come. He says, yo, dude, I'm so sorry. I slept over at a girl's last night and just woke up. My heart stopped when I saw the time. I'm assuming the boat has sailed for the podcast. I'll swing by later so you could beat me up with your words. I'll tell him it's too late to apologize.
It's too late to apologize. So yeah, this is the life we chose, ladies and gentlemen. But what's the life you chose? You know what I'm saying?
Yo, I'm going to go get that extra coffee.
Yeah, can we split that?
Yeah, bro.
Holy shit, we're going hard with the caffeine. It induces the right amount of anxiety through my blood veins. That makes me like feel, that gets me talking, and that makes me feel like, yo, you should, like,
job.
yeah, I should go apply it to places. I actually got offered a gig. As like a fucking, okay, I don't know if I should talk about this.
As a go-go boy.
As a go-go boy marketing coordinator. And then they offered me a price, and then I counter offered like a ridiculous amount more.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want $14,000 more. And now
they're like, yes, Sam.
They're like, they sent me an email like, okay,
can you send us a resume? You're like, no resume, just NFTs.
They're like, all right, we feel like you might outgrow this position, and it's a very client face-to-face position where you're going to be speaking to our clients and whatnot. And like, if you're not 100% like down to do it, like I made them feel like I wasn't 100% down. It's kind of true, to be honest. But
well, at least you're honest with them.
Yeah, because I'm like, I don't want to do that shit for that amount. And then I offered like a bigger amount. And they're like, "Ooh, okay, this guy definitely is not. He's not feeling this position to offer that much more." So
did you get? So you were still waiting on an answer?
No, but they essentially said like take the weekend to think about it and get back to us for the price that they originally gave.
Okay, yeah.
So anyways, we don't need to put.
That's hilarious, man.
We're not gonna publicize that, but
no, we're gonna post this. We're gonna post this.
I don't think people give a shit about my job situation.
But how much money?
How much money? Okay, wait, we're gonna beep this part. They offered 54, and I was like, I want $69,000.
Like, all we have is $54.
Yeah, the 54. And yeah, we've seen your podcasts.
So yeah, make that 48.
Yeah, that's very unprofessional of you. Yeah,
delete this number. Did you see What do you think? Like, what would you think of somebody if somebody said, like, I don't date black women? Do you think that's racist?
Did I talk to you about this? You know what I thought was racist? I don't know if it was you I talked about, but I'm like, remember when you had your first breakup, like as a child, and like your last wishes to your girlfriend that was like leaving you and you were heartbroken is like, please just don't fuck a black guy. Goodbye.
Who said that?
Man, I just remember like stories when I was a kid of like breakups and like the dying wish of the guy who got his heart broken, who's the certified lover boy going through his first heartbreak, was like, please just don't fuck a black guy. Goodbye. And it's just it's actually like the most racist thing. And then you grow up old enough and you're like, why the fuck did I like? Why do people say that? Because everybody just envisions like a black guy like having a massive dick.
Yeah.
Like a gorilla, like 12-incher.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh fuck, I don't want my girl to go through that.
Yo,
it is fucking racist. Is what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying that's what I believe. There's a lot of.
Well, I mean, it's racist, but it's true. Black guys have big dicks, and like a weak man would be like, please don't have intercourse with
a big ass
penis.
Gorilla.
Yeah. He's saying he's a gorilla, and that's racist.
Oh yeah, that is fucking racist. Okay, yeah, we're definitely gonna
the beep. We're gonna beep.
We're gonna beep this whole thing. Beep this whole segment.
But
I'll stop talking.
so it's so smoky in here, man. Goddamn, we need an air purifier.
Yeah, we need a little. You know those little fans at Dollarama? You should get that.
We need like more fans, like more subscribers as well.
Yeah, that too.
But do you think it's racist if somebody if a guy says, for example, I don't date black women?
Is it racist or is it a preference? It is not racist because if we follow that logic, and if I was to say I don't date men, it doesn't mean I'm homophobic.
Cha-ching, man. Right answer, bro.
Let's
Right
go.
answer. In the same way that like women, they say, oh, like I only date
Tall guys.
Tall guys.
But yo, you know what's fucked up? If a guy was to say I don't date fat girls, it would be like hella controversial.
It's true.
But it is a
what
preference.
Yeah, exactly. Like what happened to body positivity, man?
Yeah, but the body positivity only exists for fat women. You don't see a fucking naked fat dude on a commercial of like L'Oreal.
Body positivity.
Body
eating-
positive, fucking holding his titties up.
swallowing 3 cheeseburgers with,
Yeah.
with the fucking oil stain on his
Yeah,
t-shirt.
nobody gives a shit about men, but even less fat men.
But
Like,
Lizzo.
But Lizzo, you gotta love her because
Yeah,
she's huge, she's heavier than you, and she could crush you in in bed.
Yeah, and
But
that's
you have
hot.
to love her.
Yeah, that's hot.
But
But yeah, that's interesting because Fresh and Fit recently they you know Fresh and Fit the cringy
podcast.
podcaster.
Yeah.
They got bashed for saying that they don't date black women, but it's just the way that they say it, you know? It's like
No, but they're categorizing like black women as that like the crazy the crazy ratchet
Exactly.
one. Yeah, they're saying all of them are that crazy ratchet type
yeah,
of
exactly.
black
And
woman.
that's why I think it's like a question of like how you say things, and because at the end of the day, like everybody has preferences, you know, but you can't just say shit with prejudice like that. And I feel like that's why they got so much heat, you know, because they got heat for being racist scum, you know. But they're both black, which is I think is like weird. But it
Yeah.
just goes to show how society fucks shit up for minorities sometimes.
Do you feel like yeah, no, you definitely feel that. Andrew Schultz was like it's only men who are dumb enough, like, okay, marriage is like, okay, we get married, and if we divorce, you take half my shit, I take half your shit.
Yeah.
And it's only men who are dumb enough to like marry someone who
Yeah,
has
I saw
less shit
that.
to them.
I saw that.
It's so fucking true.
Women don't sign I mean, I don't know how he said it.
Prenups?
But, yeah, they're prenups, but like, women don't date like broke men because
They don't date a man who has less than them.
Yeah, exactly.
They only date
because only men are stupid enough.
yeah, to fucking do that. And it was fucking funny. Like that little clip was so fucking, it was hilarious.
I'm gonna.
Something's ringing, man. That's What gonna do today? What gonna do today? What gonna do today? What gonna do? What gonna do today? What gonna do today? What gonna do today? What gonna do? Okay, guys.
I'm checking.
Who should we have on this podcast, man? We should invite like some baddies, some baddie influencers, but they're definitely not gonna answer the DM unless we have like 100K views per episode. So we got to get there somehow.
Yo, speaking of women, do you think yesterday I was watching a movie with my girlfriend, and it's a Quebec movie on Netflix. It's called The Decline or some shit like that. And it's with Réal Bossé, I think is his name. And basically they're in a survivalist camp, and the idea is that they're all like survivalists in 2021 type of thing. And they're like, all pandemics, the end of the world is coming, you need to prepare. And this guy has a YouTube channel, and he has a couple of followers, and he organizes this trip where he invites a couple of his followers to his cabin in the woods to experience the real survivalist shit. Turns out people die and he's an actual crazy person and a whole bunch of people die.
fuck.
But there's like this scene where the girl, there's a girl there and she's like just choking out men and jujitsuing men and shit, you know, and it's just so corny. Like the guys are like, oh, and the girl's like barely able to hold a gun, you know, like she shots with a gun, and
She's like 120 pounds.
She's like 120 pounds with an AK, and you could see it in her shots. Like she can't hold a gun, you know. And like there's a shot of her like breaking a window, and she's like, you know, like so like
she's like uncomfortable the whole time.
You know, and we're meant to believe like from the beginning of the movie.
I hate movies like that.
Oh,
I stop watching when I see shit like that.
I was like so cringe, and then I was talking to Claire about it, and she's like, well, you know, because some women are like strong and stuff, but I'm like, listen, if I'm in a survivalist mode with zombies everywhere, you know, men are going to go hunt for fucking deer and shit. Women are gonna stick at home, prepare the food, and cut the fucking trees and the tomatoes and make sure everything is okay, you know, at the house. And, you know, more of like the sedentary, I don't know, plants and stuff. If there's one woman who's a beefcake and she wants to go with us, fucking,
there's exceptions.
Bring her, bro.
There's
bring
exceptions.
her.
Like MMA girls are strong too. They could come too.
Come.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
We need you.
Hell yeah. But
the 100-pounder who never fucking threw a ball.
it breaks windows like this.
Yeah,
you know?
you're staying.
And I don't know how many times they shot the scene, you know? Okay, but you know, punch it with more conviction, Sandra.
She's like, but I can't. It hurts my hand. My wrist hurts. And it's
and
like,
she has the gun and it looks so wonky, and then she's out there choking guys, and the guys are like, and I'm like, you know, cringe.
over-exaggerating the whole
like,
thing.
this is so like PC fucking politically correct movie shit where like, oh, we're gonna put a girl and she's gonna be hot and she's gonna kill people and be super strong. But it's like, how about you take a fucking beefcake girl, you know? How about you be realistic about it, not make us believe like that this like 120-pound girl is out there doing like Street Fighter, you know what I'm saying? This ain't Street Fighter, bruh.
I hate movies. I can't watch movies like that. And I know people who could just like listen to the story, but I'm thrown off completely. I'm like, I don't believe.
I'm like,
shit.
no, it's not
There's
realistic
no way that person
at all.
did that.
You know?
Yeah, and I just stopped listening to them.
But the movie is good though. I would strongly suggest it. It's actually pretty good.
Really,
but it's just like yeah. And then my girlfriend got mad. Like I'm like, why are you mad? She's like, because I'm a woman, and I'm like, yeah, but you know, realistically, if there was a woman that would be able to do the job, she wouldn't look like this. And I get it, it's a movie, but like, come on. I just hate to see that like those like society seep into the movies. Like, we're gonna put a girl and she's gonna be a little bit black just because, you know,
we don't want to come off racist.
We don't want to come off racist or sexist.
Yeah.
Oh, everybody, you know, they're outside cutting wood. Okay, cutting wood. Like, I've already cut wood before, and like with, you know, just like splitting it, you know, and it's a hard job, you know. And the girl's out there, 120 pounds in the middle of winter, doing it beside two other guys, and I'm like, yo, guys, just put another guy there, man. She's not doing it properly, man.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Be realistic about this shit, you know?
But at the same time, like, if you're in that cabin with that girl and she's 120 pounds and she's like somewhat pretty and she wants to cut wood, would you be misogynistic if it was in a
I wouldn't be. I'd be like, come, let's like, you know, and she might be good at cutting wood, but the form her form was not right. You must keep a 90-degree angle, and you must cut with your hips. You must cut with your hips.
Yeah, okay,
she was cutting with her elbows, man. She was cutting with her elbow.
Okay, she didn't practice enough.
No, and I'm like, get a person who could do the role, because this is looking like it has to look like survivalist stuff. It has to be. I'm being thrown, and I can't imagine how hard it must have been to actually shoot those scenes with her.
You can't say anything. You're like, it's not.
No, but you say, and the director's like, cut. Can we do it over again? Like, you actually have to break the window this time, not just
like tap it.
Not just tap it.
Like, excuse me, somebody there.
Pow pow.
Yeah. So I want to. How do we present this without coming off as dicks? So.
We're not dicks, bro. It's like the fact.
She was a bad actress. Maybe.
She was a bad actress, and I'm saying like, as a casting person, you know, you try to cast a person who could play the role properly. This
Yeah, but-
character was meant to be a survivalist who has been to war, okay, and who's like seen
Knows how to
people
fight.
die,
Knows how
and
to fight.
knows how to fight, knows
And
how to
shoot
choke
a
people
gun.
out, master jujitsu, taekwondo specialist,
Oh, yeah.
and reloads guns like and just like Call of Duty up in this bitch, you know.
But she didn't look the role.
But
just
she
didn't
did,
look the
but
role.
you know, and she's a great actress and everything. But like the physicality of like the things she was doing, it just seemed off. And I can't. If I was directing this movie, I would be very disappointed in myself or by my actor.
You would have
because
stopped filming. Like I can't.
I would
do
have been
this.
like, cut.
No, we're done for the day. You pack your bags.
You pack your
have to go.
bags. Let's get Olga because Olga, she's a badass bitch. And she
Or,
could.
I would get a badass MMA bitch.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of MMA fighters are getting like roles in movies now.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They're transitioning into acting, which is a lot
cool.
safer, because there's a very short window opportunity to fight for a living. It's like 10 years maybe.
Yeah, Joe Rogan like fought for a couple of years, and he was saying like, yeah, he
He-
stopped because like he saw people getting like retarded.
No, but he did a taekwondo for like when he in his early 20s.
Yeah, when like
Yeah,
not MMA.
no,
Oh, okay.
but he was in the MMA scene at like UFC 1 or something.
Yeah.
And initially he wasn't getting paid. He just loved it. Yeah. So he signed up and he's just like, yo, I'll fucking do it for free. And that's why Dana like loves him. He's like, he was with us when like there was no money coming in and he just did it for free. So he was just like talking to the fighters and whatnot for free. And he's been doing it for like such a long
Fucking
time.
20 years now.
Holy shit.
But how much does he get paid per UFC thing? What do you call that job? Narrator?
Commentator. So
How much does Joe Rogan get paid? Narrator UFC. Commentator. Fuck.
commentator. I know Bruce Buffer makes 6 figures.
6 figures.
Yeah,
A
Bruce
milli.
Buffer pay.
500K per UFC event.
Joe Rogan does?
Yeah. This is a year ago.
What the fuck, man? Yo, these guys are caking. When you start caking in life, it becomes ridiculous numbers. But when you're not caking, which is
So they're saying like already doing comedy he was doing it for free. In essence, Dana White got a famous comedian and frat guy dude type for free, which enormously helped the UFC fan base, which I could totally see, you know.
yeah,
That's so fucking true.
everything fell into place. And what's crazy about the UFC is that they were in millions of dollars in debt.
Yeah.
And they were gonna shut it down and sell the company. Like it was Dana and the something
Two
brothers.
other guys, yeah.
I forgot.
Italian guys.
Yeah, the Italian guys. And they're about to call it quits. And then they took like one last loan. And like with the loan, they created the reality TV show called like Ultimate Fighter. And then that show,
That was a bang.
the first show ended with like some of the craziest fights we've seen with like Forrest Griffin and the other guy, Steven something. I forgot what his name was. But
There was one with Wanderlei Silva and
yeah, but that was later on.
yeah, that was wild.
But what put them on the map was the first Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah.
And then that saved the whole show. And then
Fucking
the ratings
crazy.
went through the roof on Spike.
Spike TV.
Spike TV.
Spike
You know what I was thinking about it? A part of me was wishing that technology moved forward a little slower. Like I wish we would have had the flip phones for a little longer.
Yeah.
Like
I feel like the iPhones like showed up too quick. I'm like, what is
Yeah.
this alien technology?
Steve Jobs was a little too persistent in his ambitious pursuit, but at the same time, the guy died like right after his invention, which is like
I think they killed him.
I don't know what it was. but
Cancel me. Unsubscribe, bro. I think they killed him.
the thing is, technology is becoming so good. It is so hypnotizing. Like your phone is hypnotizing. You play like a little bit of a video game, and you're like, what the fuck? I'm so drawn to
Yeah,
this.
yeah. I'm totally hooked to like shit on my phone. Bro, I was playing this game. It's like a Rocket Boy or whatever. You just tap the screen and like you try to avoid obstacles and shit. And like it's crazy. Like get 1,000 more coins if you look at this ad. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
So now I'm playing the game like, I want 1,000 more coins. I'm going to watch this ad 30 seconds. And at the end of the ad, want to double up? Another ad. And you're like, yeah. And I'm like, just next thing you know, I'm like looking at a minute and a half of ads
Yeah.
for like 10 seconds of gameplay because I'm not very good at the game. And I'm like, you die and like, want to revive? There's an ad.
But this is why Black Mirror was so good at depicting what the future would look like. Have you watched Black Mirror?
Yeah, I watched Black Mirror.
And it's
All of
just
them.
like all of them, eh? And I think of episode 1, I stopped watching. Like I watched a lot of the episodes, but episode 1 I couldn't watch it because it was annoying me so much. Where the guy is just like surrounded by digital screens, and like
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. And then I'm like, wait a minute. And then if I take my phone and I point it away because I don't want to see the ad, is it gonna stop? Because you know sometimes your phone, like you know
Did
what I'm
it
saying.
stop?
Sometimes, bro, like
No,
YouTube
watch.
videos, if I do this, it's gonna stop or whatever. You know?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What?
On my old phone, not on
Oh,
my
maybe your old
iPhone, but
phone,
like the
yeah.
Galaxy stuff. If you just move away, there was like a setting that like if you stop looking, even if I looked away like this, it would stop the video.
that is fucking weird.
It's fucking scary stuff, man. And
That's-
that episode of Black Mirror is wild because like when you pause, you like they like force you to resume
yeah,
it, you know?
or you can't close your eyes.
Yeah.
Can't close your eyes. And so much of my day is spent like in front of obviously the computer because I have to like try to figure out how to fucking make money. And then after that too, man, it's just like, okay, I'm on my phone or then I go sit in front of the TV.
Bro,
and it's cold as shit outside. Okay, we live in Canada where it's like minus 40 degrees Celsius. I don't know what
yeah,
that-
right
how
now it's
that's-
getting actually super cold.
which is crazy cold. So like I like try to force myself to like step out once a day. But sometimes I'm just like, no.
But you know what's fucked up, bro? Like literally these if the cameras were on, which like not I don't know if they're not on, you know, like they would have like footage of your face 24/7 in bed with your phone, you know,
Or like, yeah.
or like
fucking
jerking
touching yourself,
off, or
jerking
like
off.
in
And
front
they
of your
blackmail
computer.
you. They like watch these ads.
Yeah, yeah, dude, they can easily
or
blackmail.
We fucking sell your masturbation to all your colleagues
hey,
at work. and your
there's a new
family.
iPhone. You want to buy it, or
You
we
should definitely
release all
buy
this
it.
tape?
Yeah.
You should definitely buy it.
Buy. Do you want to increase your yearly subscription to this digital like bombardment of fucking advertisements?
Click yes.
Click
Watch
yes
the
or
ad.
yes.
Click yes or yes. Yes, maybe later. Which one?
Maybe later, maybe tomorrow, maybe
That's
after
kinda like,
dinner.
That's kind of like Apple updates on my phone or like on my computer.
I
New
always say,
update. New
"Remind me
update.
tomorrow."
It's like remind me tomorrow or now.
Yeah.
Do it now or tomorrow. I'm like, how about no? There's like no X. You know.
Yeah, there's no X.
That's scary stuff. Yo, Elon Musk is gonna have us do this shit where with like the fucking brain shit. You know when they plug you in there with
Oh
the,
my
I don't know what
God,
he's.
we're
I don't know.
becoming cyborgs. It's fucking.
I don't know
scary.
what he's talking about with Neuralink.
But what's fucked is that like we saw like so many steps when it comes to like the technology advancements. Like we went from like no phone calling landlines to like full blown almost cyborg metaverse, fucking getting completely indulged in technology. Online misinformation is just a fucked up era that we're going through, and I don't know, man. I don't know if we're gonna.
You know,
come out healthy. Like how do you come out healthy?
Yeah.
In all this fucking noise.
There's do you remember the video game Metal Gear Solid?
Yeah, I remember the name, but I never played it.
The Metal Gear Solid, I think the 2 or something. There was this boss, this person that you think was your boss, but turns out he's an AI, and you're talking to him on the walkie-talkie, and that AI does a speech. This, mind you, this game came out like I don't know when, maybe like 1998 or 2000s. It was PlayStation, I think, and his speech predicts, bro, the internet au complet. He's like, you guy, how am I supposed to co-sign the human species? Anyways, to make the long story short, basically predicts like the internet and everybody having a voice, and that liberty becoming toxic because people are gonna start believing in a whole bunch of nonsense, echo chamber bullshit, and the end of the world is basically the internet and people having too many opinions and humankind kind of degenerating in that way. And we'd have to play that fucking speech because it's like so good. If you guys at home, you guys want to check it out, Metal Gear Solid final speech or whatever predicts future, some shit like
There's
that.
also
Wild.
there's also a clip of Tupac talking about Trump. He's like, yo, you can't be like Trump when you take everything and you push everybody away, and you take everything and you push everybody away. It's so interesting to see fucking Tupac talking about Trump back in like fucking the 90s or like, yeah, early 90s, I think
Yeah.
it was, or the 80s, man. But at the same time, it's like, There's a lot of like these news that surfaces is like, oh, the Simpsons predicted the future, or like like the example you just gave of the video game, like predicting the future. Like if you're a writer, okay, and like let's say we're writers and like we sit down in a room and then we're like, okay, create a story that would exist 50 years from now. Like we could sit down and come up with somewhat of a storyline that would make sense if it's read 50 years from now. You know what I mean?
I think, bro, like if I was Donald Trump and I was running for president, you remember that basically you're referring to that footage of The Simpsons when Donald Trump comes down the stairs with his wife and everything, and it's same shit. Donald Trump's campaign team, manager and stuff, if I was them, I would have said like, yo, look at that footage. Let's do the exact same thing. Get people talking. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the best marketing because I don't see it happening any other way because it's too much the same thing, bro. Yeah. Like the same fucking stairs, the same everything. It's for sure the campaign manager's plan.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. Honestly, if I'm the lead marketing director for Trump, I would consume all of the content related to Trump prior to his run.
Yeah.
And you would spot that clip.
Make it public.
And yeah, it's not out of the realm of like possibilities.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
It's
like, because all of that is part of his image, you know? So you need to know like what people think of you, you know?
Yeah.
If you're trying to run for president. And Trump, bro, he has so much footage of him, you know, when the ratings were up, when the ratings were down, which episode did well, which episode didn't do well, you know? How do people like Trump? Do we like Trump when he's being nice? Do we like Trump when he's being mad? It's kind of like saying like that chef there, Gordon Ramsay.
Gordon Ramsay.
Like, we don't like him when he's fucking nice to people, bro. He sells people look at him when he's mad, you know? So
yeah. Or like even Conor McGregor. But Conor McGregor had the most interesting like run and come down, I find. Because I saw somebody at the early stage of his career really look like somebody who had his chakras aligned. Like whatever you want to talk about, manifestation or like spirituality or whatever, he had that shit locked in at first because he was so clairvoyant. He was obviously great at his craft. And that whatever, as cheesy as it sounds, law of attraction, he had it going on for him. And then you saw him rise up only to decline after because, and it's crazy, I feel like the lesson that it teaches you from watching him is that like, just because you have a certain part of your life where you really align yourself to your purpose and you're really like
you're fucking perfectly aligned.
Yeah, you're perfectly aligned. It doesn't mean you can't
fuck it up.
You can't fuck it up. You know, if you don't stick to whatever it is that got you there in the first place.
I feel like money tends to do that to people.
Money will explode your ego.
Yeah.
Honestly, like,
bro, and Conor McGregor has a big ego. He was always a party boy. And
it's huge, but at the same time, it's like it takes a lot of self-discipline to like make sure that you stay grounded. If you touch a lot of money, because it's easy for us to sit down and be like, yeah, I would never turn into that. But at the same time, you get 47 likes on a picture, and you're like kind of happy.
You're like, I'm a be an asshole to all my friends.
But you feel that rush of dopamine in your brain. You're like, I'm so cool today.
Dude, I'm going to cancel all my plans. I have better things to do now.
So I can't imagine.
Call me like, who this? New phone, who this?
Yeah. I don't know who you guys are.
Sammy, it's me, your mother.
We had a podcast together, remember? I have the footage. So I can't imagine like touching 100 mil and what that does to your ego. But there's two big examples of Khabib. people touching 100 mil, or even Khabib. There's the Joe Rogan, which I feel like he did a really good job at like staying grounded and staying humble and whatnot, and not being like a flex guy. And then you have Conor McGregor, who touched 100 million, who like let it get to his head, and like he became like super materialistic and like and whatnot.
Bro, if I had 100 million, I would just like. Because the thing is about money is like, money is great. It sucks to not have money, but it's just cool not to worry about money, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's the best part.
The thing about money, it only solves money problems. So like it'll clear your debt.
Yeah.
It'll make sure that
Make sure that your family is good. Make
Yeah.
sure that your kids are good, and that's the best thing you could hope for. You know. And
yeah,
that's,
but when you're sitting in that space where the kid is born in a beautiful house and whatnot, he doesn't feel that. You know what I mean?
well,
He doesn't-
hopefully you could teach him that. You know.
Yeah.
Like by the time he's 25, hopefully he could understand that. Like you know.
But apparently it sucks being like the kid of like rich people because nothing you do, people like salute you for it. Like if you're a rich guy,
Rich or famous?
No. If you're a rich kid, like I heard stories about like rich kids having unfulfilling careers because whatever they did, it would just be like people would conclude to the idea like, yeah, but come on, bro, you're rich. Like you grew up in wealth.
Yeah, bro. At some point, man.
Like a lot of people discredit that.
yeah, like
that-
let's say
that hustle.
let's say my parents were rich and they gave me enough money to open a restaurant. You know. And the restaurant did well, I would still have respect for that person. If the restaurant failed, I'd be like, yeah, bro, because you're a rich kid.
Yeah.
You were never deserving of this in the first place.
Yeah,
You don't know
yeah.
what the fuck you're doing. You're just rich.
Or take Jaden Smith as an example. Like
Yeah, but that's famous. That's different.
you think that's famous? I felt like his music is really good, but the thing is, I don't feel like he gets that much.
Bro, Jada,
credit.
I just don't fuck with him. Like
You
I
don't
think
fuck
his
with him?
whole attitude sucks.
Okay.
Like I don't like him because he's rich. No,
Yeah.
because he's the kid of a famous person.
No, but exactly.
Yeah, but
He
that's
gets
the thing. There's a
discredited.
difference, though. We're talking rich or we're talking famous. Because I think there's a big rich or famous, man.
Yeah, rich or famous. I don't
Because
know.
check,
We're
if-
talking
if-
about both, I guess.
'Cause
okay,
if-
but why famous gets discredited? Why would you say that?
Because let's say you're a kid of
Smith.
Will Smith, then whatever you do, if you're still looking to, if you want to work in the entertainment industry,
He has a
everybody-
studio in his basement, probably.
yeah,
you know?
of course. He has
So-
everything he wants, but like that has to do with public opinion. Whereas like if you're rich. And you start doing you start a project with your family's funds or whatever, maybe your high school friends are going to be like, oh yeah, but he always had the opportunity because he was rich. But the business that you're going to build, people aren't going to associate you as being a child of a rich person because your parents aren't famous. Nobody knows that, you know? Whereas like if
Yeah,
your
I know.
parents are famous, everybody knows your dad, bro.
Everybody knows your dad, and they'll discredit you because, like, you didn't have to struggle in order to get studio
Exactly.
time. I didn't have to go sell drugs in order to get studio time.
Exactly.
So
Whereas like a company like on va dire Saputo, you know, we don't associate Saputo as being run by the kid of the guy who owned the business, and we don't disrespect Saputo because it's been there for a while. In the contrary, we respect Saputo because it's been there since 1918, you know, since 1845, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Whereas like that type of like I don't know, long term. I don't know, that vintage factor isn't the same for like rich families. If you're working in the entertainment industry, like Will Smith's kid is always going to be Will Smith's kid. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
yeah, it's gonna take him a lot of time to
It's going to be impossible. The more
to
famous your
unbrand
dad,
himself
yeah.
from his dad.
And also he kept his dad's last name as an artist name, you know. So that goes to show what kind of person he is, in my opinion. If you
But
really,
why wouldn't you? Would you switch up on your own dad?
No, I would switch up on my artist name. My artist name. If you want to disassociate yourself from your famous parent, then I would not have his last name in my name, bruh. I wouldn't be like, oh, that's Will Smith's dad. I would be called Jaden or some shit, not Jaden Smith, because you're immediately a leech. But
Yeah.
honestly,
But-
Will
but-
Smith's whole family, bro, these guys are all fucked up, man. They're
everybody's
all
fucked up.
No,
Everybody's
no.
fucked
But
up.
Will Smith's family, bro, I don't know what I have no idea what the T is.
She has
but they're
alopecia right
insane.
now.
What?
His wife that cheated and that had some sort of
Yeah.
entanglement with another fucking good looking light skinned
Yeah.
football player like
Yeah.
with blonde hair and blue
Yeah.
eyes. Bro, I've never seen it was crazy. Like they're like he cheated with this guy. He was like a light skin with like perfect looking motherfucker. If I was Will Smith, I'd be fucking. I'd
No,
be
but Will Smith's
devastated.
like, I don't care.
yeah.
Will Smith's like,
But I think they have some sort of open relationship. I think Will Smith must be dicking down other girls.
I think they have an open relationship. That's the whole thing.
Yeah.
And like you could see, like just Will Smith is like constantly not trying to not be heartbroken. He's like that's the way I see. Maybe it's because I see too many memes.
He's running away from that emotion. by
But he's
creating-
with he's just like pretend happy. You know?
no, but apparently he recently came out and said something very vulnerable. So I don't think we should disrespect him on this podcast.
Yo,
Will
but
Smith,
I
if
don't
you're
give
listening
a
to this, I like you.
I like you too, man, and I respect your work. But get the cameras off your family, man. I think it's whole weirdness,
They're all
bro.
in the entertainment industry. One of them has a talk show and now
Haram.
has alopecia. You know
What's
what
alopecia, bro? You second time you say aloe fucking pisha. Is it aloe?
It's when you lose all your hair.
Oh, good for that bitch. Good for her.
No. We like them. If ever you guys watch this podcast, we would love to have your kids on the show.
No, but that was me doing the jokies.
It was a jokies. He's a
Jokies.
comedian, so he could rip into people.
That was
and
my
you take
part.
it as a joke.
That's what you don't understand. It's my job.
It's his job.
That's what you guys don't understand at home, guys. It's my job.
So yeah, give me some words of wisdom or inspiration or hope, because we
Tired
talked a
of
lot.
being sick and tired?
Yeah, type of speech, because society is going into darkness, and maybe we need the light of Adele, lighter, sparking a spliff, to guide us towards.
Let me just spark up the inspiration real quick. My children, the time has come to rally up. Your children's children will live under the influence that life is online. That booster after booster is the way the rooster goes at night. But let me tell you this, young ones. It's all a dream. You're living in a simulation.
This is a simulation. We're not actually in front of your phone right now.
Your phone is
Or your
actually the
desktop.
realest part of your fucking body, man.
Okay, guys, I think I have to make a PP. Do I PP and come back, or do we?
How long have we been going for?
I have no idea. I lost complete sense of time during this podcast. What time is it? Oh, 12:54. We could go for another 15 or whatever. We were supposed to finish at 1:15 with this other guy who didn't show up.
This fucking asshole, boy.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, we're gonna have a somewhat of a different podcast today. But no. And look at that, bro. No new notifications, bro. You're fucking kidding me.
Would you look at that?
Would
Still
you
a
look
loser.
at that? Fuck.
Okay, let's take a little break. PP. And then we'll
PP break.
reevaluate.
Well, okay, sounds good. Oh. I'm on that PP time, sadness, oh. Okay, yo, I say we take a picture and we send it to your boy. We're like, thanks for not coming.
Thanks for not showing up, man. Had a great time with like 4 coffees. It's like by the end of the podcast, like jittery as fuck. Action. Welcome back to the Pool Boy Show. We just did a quick little PP time.
Little PP time session
Little
together.
I
Also,
want the
it was at the
PP
same time.
time.
Because we don't want to waste your time. We don't want to waste our time. So we make sure to pee together.
And we made a song. It was a PP time, sadness.
Oh.
Yeah, you really have that part really locked in. It's freaking beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay, so I have a couple of videos that we could react to, things that I thought were funny during the week or whatever, and that we could potentially stop looking. Don't look yet, my friend. So let's start it off. So this first video, it made me laugh. I saw it on TikTok, and it's about kids in the 90s versus kids in 2020 or whatever. Okay, here we go.
Kids born in 1990. Press play.
Ow, daddy, my pussy.
That was fucking funny, man. That was good.
So do you think that's true? Do you think like that kids that were born in the 80s are tougher or whatever than kids?
Yeah,
The
no.
video was hilarious. Ow, daddy, my pussy.
It's fucking jokes. Yeah, no, I definitely feel like we're more sensitive.
For sure. That's for
For
sure.
sure
Thing.
more
Like my
sensitive.
dad has so much trouble talking about his emotions. He will never, talk about his emotions.
Because it's actually it's actually seen as weak. Like,
Yeah,
in a way.
exactly.
Like even like we talked about this before, where like you girls are like always like, oh, talk about your emotions, and then as soon as you talk about your emotions,
They're like,
the
I'm out!
the pussy like dries up, closes, and they run away. Like, but you wanted me to open up. So we talk about that, and there is some sort of truth to it. Like you can't say no, it's not true. Like you can talk about your emotions all you want.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
I mentioned this on the last episode. My dad lost his brother recently. But yeah, it was very sad. But we went to go see him, and he was like pretty stoic about it. And then we just started talking. Like as soon as we started talking
about emotions, and shit.
about his brother, he just
stop.
Yeah, or like we asked him like to open up basically about how, or I guess how he felt or whatever. We got to that point in the conversation, and he just started like uncontrollably crying. You know, like like uncontrollably, because he obviously he just lost his brother and everything, but you could clearly see that he lacked experience in crying. Like he's clearly like, I'd never seen my dad cry basically.
Yeah,
and he was just an ugly crier as well. So it just proves to me that he hasn't done it. Whereas like a person who cries more often will be like, more looking good and, taking Instagram pictures and everything.
Right. And showing their butt.
Yeah.
On Instagram. Like the world is coming to an end and you still have like angel looking girls like dropping like fucking ass pictures and you're just like, yo, what the fuck? And you can't help but to look.
Yeah. And you're like, fuck. But
like girls are looking at it like be like, fuck, I'm not that pretty. And like guys
we're
are
like,
looking at it like,
Lord.
and we're like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
There's angels walking on the face of this earth and they're not around me. What do
honestly,
I do?
bro, but at this rate, I'm gonna become a simp. I'm gonna start simping. But how's your NoFap?
So I think this week I haven't touched myself.
Oh, so you've been touching yourself.
So
okay, no, but NoFap is still
NoFap is no porno. I don't watch porno.
You know what? I haven't watched porno in a long time too. I haven't watched porno in
Ladies and
2
gentlemen,
weeks, I think.
He's converting.
Yeah,
it's gonna start helping your psyche.
Next step I think for me is to start doing jujitsu to really take away from the sexual tension while hugging other men.
Yeah,
I think that helps.
Shit, we did talk about that too. It's true. Try retention. No, try retention and do it for the 7th day. On the 7th, 8th, or 9th
day of retention, my body told to me, pop, 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 pop. Pop, 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 pop.
On the 7th, 8th, or 9th day, that's when your testosterone peaks.
And then what do?
You become like yeah, you become the goblet version of yourself.
And then you wake up in the morning
and like your girlfriend's gonna be scared of you.
Good morning, babe. You're like
she's just gonna be like goblet.
You're like good morning, babe. I'm like
no, but guys, try this at home if you have a significant other. Do retention for 7 to 8 days or 9 days. Your testosterone is going to go through the roof.
Pop, 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 pop.
So yeah, that's that. Yeah, this week I've been clean. I sound like a fucking addict.
But yeah, that's cool, man. I guess like the whole gray matter thing really caught my attention. I was like, holy shit, I don't want to be stupid. You know?
Is that what it does?
I think gray matter. I think gray matter has to do a lot with coordination of movement and speech.
The thing about masturbation, okay, is that you become completely compulsive towards your emotions, and you pedestalize women in a subconscious matter.
Yeah.
So you don't even see them as human anymore. You're like, oh, this is like a creature. Blah, blah, blah. That's why guys get like caught up in their head and they're unable to talk to women.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they're nutting all over themselves all the time.
Yeah, and I like what you said. Like they're creatures. It's like I feel like a lot of like the weird sex games that guys fuck with. It's like bunny ears and just like creatures of like, man, it's just turning me on just like talking about it for real. But like I also like the whole like you're a slave to your emotions. You see one booty pic online and you're like, fuck it, I have to go touch myself. No, that was the old me. You know what I'm saying?
It does refuel your own self-esteem in a way. by like not watching porno and attempting the hard mode, which is also retention. Retention, like you could try retention for like a week and then you fall off. Then you could try maybe you'll last 10 days and then you fall off, and then you'll last 14 days and then you fall off, and then you last 50. Like you just test
Is
yourself.
it healthy though to not come for 14 days?
There's definitely arguments for and against it, because I heard that like if you actually don't masturbate for like long periods of time, it's not good for your prostate. I
Yeah,
just heard
exactly.
that, but it could have
That's what
just
I
been an
heard, too.
influencer on fucking YouTube who said it, and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
At this point, everybody's just regurgitating every YouTube video. That
Yeah,
they hear
yeah,
online.
exactly.
Depending on what rabbit hole you go into,
Yeah, yeah.
you're just regurgitating what your favorite influencer on
Yeah.
YouTube said, and it's like that for everyone.
Yo, dude, I have the perfect example of that. It's like I was watching videos this week about 9/11, like conspiracy theories about 9/11. You know, so I watched like I think this 5-hour long Italian directed by this Italian guy about 9/11, basically saying that it was fake and an inside job and blah blah blah. And then I was like, yo, bro, it's for sure an inside job. You know, and then I'm like, you know what? Let me just watch one counter video. You know, debunking. You know,
Debunking this guy.
and I'm like, it for sure wasn't an inside job. You know,
But
I was flipping and flopping, which is a good thing, I guess, because
Yeah.
I'm not like an absolute.
yeah.
But
For the longest time, I was walking around like arguing or saying whatever the Joe Rogan podcast said.
yeah,
It was bad. Like, and then, yeah, but then I catch myself now. I catch myself. I was like, oh, you think that because this is where you got it from. Like now I try to spot the sources
yeah, me too.
of my own arguments and my
Yo,
own thoughts.
I hear myself talking on this podcast sometimes. Like I listen to old episodes. I'm like, that's not true. That's
Yeah.
probably not true.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, I need to catch myself. Like,
But
just
this is
talking
why
shit.
this is why like if there was a book of like pure truth, we would read it.
It's the
Like,
Quran, man. It's the Quran. What are you waiting for, man?
Yo, bro, by the way, the Alhamdulillah clip was too Alhamdulillah.
What was it? Well, Alhamdulillah.
You remember we were singing that? I was
Alhamdulillah.
like, yo, bro, we came off. Like my dad got mad apparently.
Really?
Yeah. He's like, why you do this? I bring Canada to Canada.
But Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, like it's like too like I don't know.
Because he heard that clip.
Yeah, like apparently my dad got mad, but he's a Persian. He's a Persian man.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, we're just singing like that. I think it came off too as like like how like Allah Akbar has a negative connotation to it. It sounds scary, like just saying it
I was listening to
because of all the media terror.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, obviously.
I was listening to a clip of us talking about us making fires in elementary school, and then we said like jihad or something, and I'm like,
Oh my
yo,
God.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
we can't say that because the thing is, like, we know ourselves and we know our heart and our feelings, but people just see us as like the
Your
outcasts.
eyebrows just went, oh no.
My eyebrows just wrestled each other. But
Your
yeah, man.
eyebrows were like, I'm gonna take this, fuck it, I'm out.
Yeah.
Just leave.
Yeah, listen to our clips and like we're talking so comfortably, like it's really like just me and you. And I'm like, is this level of transparency good or is it like bad?
I don't think it's good or bad. I think it's
I'm like,
I think it's
how is this coming off as?
I mean,
have
like
no idea.
there was definitely like moments where I listened to old podcasts and I'm like, especially the fact that it's unedited. I'm like, ouch. Probably shouldn't have said that. You know,
the family thing. We said one racist
but the
thing.
family thing is not bad. What we said.
Yeah, but we just we talk balls deep about family members.
Yeah, exactly.
Without the whole preface of like,
But-
I love my family,
Yo, but
but
fuck off all that bullshit, bro. This is long form conversation, my
long
guy.
form conversations.
Long form conversations. Blame it on long form conversation. I mean, a lot of people don't even talk to each other for this amount of time. I would be curious, man. You have a conversation for an hour and a half with the same person. How quickly that person becomes like fucking non-PC, you know?
No, but exactly. Okay, yeah. And we talked about this. We're like, the PC people that bother me the most is that I know how you are
When you're
outside
drunk.
when you're drunk and like your
Oh.
true side. And then you approach me with this PC vibes. It's like, those
Yeah.
are people that bother
Yeah,
me. Like,
yeah. Like
Anyways.
me.
But,
Okay, I have another clip we could react to, anyways.
okay, let's do that. More reactions. Because the truth is, if we were together, like without the mics and the fucking things, we'd just be looking down on our phones.
What?
For like half the
yeah,
time.
exactly. We'd be like playing fucking.
We'd be like, yo.
It'd be like, yeah,
Yeah.
just like grunting.
Grunting shit. Have you guys heard the song before? Alhamdu, alhamdulillah. Okay, we can't go there again.
That shit's a banger.
I feel like it is. I feel like it is, but it needs to catch on. Maybe people need to listen to it like a third time.
I
Like,
think,
you know what?
yeah,
I actually love this
earworm, earworm. Oh, yo, did you hear this? Logan Paul got scammed $3.5 million because you know Logan Paul buys Pokemon cards.
Okay.
He's a collector, like he streams.
I
and
know
takes
that.
Video,
I
his
know
whole
that. I know
content
that.
about Pokemon cards. He bought boxes, unopened boxes, 3.5 million apparently for the boxes that he bought off his friend for who bought it for 1.8 I think or 2.8 million, who he bought it off another person online. So that person scammed these guys because it was all like I don't know what they were, like they weren't Pokemon cards basically.
What? There's no way.
I swear, and they fucking asked because there's an agency that verifies the authenticity of cards, collectible cards. It's the Baseball Association, American Baseball Association Trading Card, whatever association, and they approved it. They said, "Oh, it's real." In our professional, humble opinion, this shit's real, and it wasn't real. It was $3.5 million at Logan Paul. Some people say it's fake. Some people say it was all just like a YouTube.
I heard that he did a NFT thing. This is allegedly, because I'm not sure about this source. This is probably another fucking influencer who talked about this. But apparently he started an NFT where he created like some sort of animation version of himself with like the Pokemon balls all around him or whatever. And he like priced it at like
11 mil.
I think it was $2,000 or something like that.
That's not much.
Anyways, he started a collection, sold it. People bought it for $2,000, and
Sell it.
And no, but it dropped in price.
Oh,
So it dropped like 90% in price. But he ended up banking on it. But his community of people who like supported him and wanted his NFTs all ended up like fucking losing $2,000, bro. Or like for how many did they bought? I don't know how many they bought. But
see, this people are gonna think of this the way we talk about the .com era
I know,
of like
no,
people
no.
tripping out.
yeah, this is exactly what I was talking about.
The beginning of .com.
So there's going to be a lot of NFTs that are flops, and those aren't the stories that you see on your newsfeed. You see the 1%er that's like, I made $90 million on NFTs. This is how I did it. I bought this thing at like $20 and now it's 90 million. Like those are the only stories you hear, but for the most part, a lot of people are going to
Exactly.
fucking lose money. You know what I
Exactly,
mean?
for sure. I wonder how that NFT dropped though. I feel like a $2,000 NFT. I guess it depends how many he made.
My source is another YouTuber, so I just want to put that out there. So I didn't look into this,
Okay.
so I'm just.
But yo, $3.5 million this motherfucker got scammed.
But
bro.
he also makes mad money too. And on a recent podcast, he actually he got played by like an elite luxury like prostitute. Like he was catching Phillies for like an elite prostitute, and then he later find out that she's like a go-go girl for like billionaires.
Yeah.
And and he talks about it on his podcast, and it raises the question of like, A, is it awful to be a luxury prostitute when money's not coming in? B, if you're an old man billionaire and your wife is not fucking you anymore, is it a fucking awful thing to reach out to these women who are doing this job? There's a massive discomfort thinking that there is that going on in the world. Like when you hear about it, like it doesn't feel right to your stomach. But when you try to think of it logically, okay, like broke girl, beautiful dime piece, she only gets objectified wherever she goes, whatever she does. Like those angels that like they walk into a room, like you have no other choice but to be like, what the fuck is this? You know? Should she feel guilty for monetizing that? Maybe
Absolutely not.
Maybe not.
I think it makes, like you said, it gives you a weird feeling. It's because you're not in that position. Also, and put yourself in the man's position. You're a billionaire, millionaire, whatever.
Your wife's not fucking you.
Yeah, or this
whatever.
is your wife, or you don't have a wife, or whatever the fuck. You have so much money that your life is different, bro. Your life is different. Are you really gonna go out there and look for true love and with a regular, or are you gonna go buy because this is what you do. You buy things. You have so much money. Pre-manufactured, fucking perfect girl who knows her worth.
You're 77. You're like, yo, I just want to fuck.
Dude, yeah. Or, and, it's, As long as both parties are
Logically-
involved, it's fine.
like
bro.
okay, logically explaining it, there's nothing
wrong.
wrong with it.
Yeah.
But on a feeling level, it sounds awful. Like I don't know what
I
it is.
think
It sounds
if-
like
If
disturbing. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. I don't feel it's disturbing. Have you ever had sex with a prostitute?
No, I haven't. Have you? I actually
I
don't.
haven't though.
No, but the whole prostitute thing, it's like I don't like it. There was an incident where I could have, but I don't like that shit. Like it's too transactional.
I did once when I was like a boy. I was like,
Yeah, me too. When I was a boy.
Yeah, but don't say no then. Say yes.
No, but I had just turned 18, but I didn't
Yeah,
like
exactly.
penetrate her. I got other stuff from her. So-
Me, yeah, I was given a blowjob by a prostitute when I was like 18.
Yeah, me too. I was 18.
It was weird. It was weird. It was
I
definitely
didn't
weird.
like it, me personally.
Me, I was definitely.
It was too like she walks in the room. She's like, "Wear a condom." And you're like, "What?"
Yeah, exactly. It's very off-throwing,
It's
off-putting.
fucking like,
It's very off-putting, and
Oh,
like the bit
okay.
interesting. Oh, you want it in the mouth? Like it's $60 extra.
yeah,
you want
it's
to come.
so transactional.
And then like
fucking
I
awkward
came in
ass
her mouth or whatever, or like without, because I couldn't even control my own emotions. You know, I just "Ugh."
Yeah.
And then she said, "Oh, you came on my face. That's 20 extra or some shit like
Yeah,
that."
you gotta tip me.
Yeah, and you got to tip me, and I like to be paid before.
It's like strippers.
And you know what she told me
What?
that she said, "Oh, my boyfriend's way cuter than you." I'm like, "You have a boyfriend? And why the fuck would you say that now?"
Yeah.
Ow.
Why would you like hurt my feelings right before we start?
I'm paying
intercourse?
you. Why don't you hurt my feelings?
I'm here to seek comfort in you prostitute.
You fucking whore.
But yeah, there's something massively discomforting about prostitution, transactional sex. I don't like it.
Yeah. It's very.
It's,
I think it's something that you have to like. Not that you have to try, but there's nothing wrong with trying. I feel like it's. That's why it should be regulated, because I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. Like the business of sex. I don't think there's nothing wrong with it. It's just as bad, in my opinion, as fucking the business of alcohol, bro, or fucking a bar. You know, it's one of those. It's one of those fun things. You know, just tax it, bro. Just tax it, man. That's why it should be legal.
It sounds awful, but yeah, you should. I think you should control it, like make it like taxable income.
Heavily taxed. You know, in Quebec, how heavily taxed it would be.
It wouldn't be worth it.
It wouldn't even be worth it.
I have to fuck you for $50, not even 100.
Yeah.
It's like
It's
it's
like,
not
yo,
worth it at that point. But the reason why I say you should legalize it, because it sounds like an awful thing to do, but you could better control the safety of the prostitutes
And the customers as well.
Like in certain countries, when cops get a call about a prostitute getting beat up,
They just don't show up.
they don't give a fuck.
That's fucked.
But that's fucked up. You're better off like legalizing it, controlling it, and be like, yo, these are members of fucking
Yeah.
society.
Like in Amsterdam.
Yeah, like in Amsterdam. And another reason is because some men can get laid, and you don't want that man to fucking become a resentful rapist. So you fucking better off.
Yeah, or somebody who's
Shipping
like
out of-
ostracized by society because he calls prostitutes, you know? Some people like keep this shit to themselves. They hide it because there's shame.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
shame
yeah.
to it towards
Yeah.
it, but it shouldn't be that. It's kind of like I don't know. I think there's something really nice. So, and a lot of people like they ask for these services and they don't even have sex. They just
They want to hang out.
Just company like
Yeah, they
like
wanna hang
Mac
out.
Miller, for example.
Mac Miller did that on his last day.
Yeah,
Yo, Mac
just
Miller
hung out.
Okay, so from what I understand from Mac Miller's situation was that he was looking for drugs with a dealer, and then his dealer like choked or whatever, so he called another dealer. The dealer also had prostitutes. They send drugs and the prostitutes, but I think the initial dealer who had initially reached out to, who didn't answer, ended up pulling up also. So I think he ended up buying
Yeah, exactly.
all the drugs from both dealers.
Exactly. Yeah,
He
yeah.
had too much on hand. He was hanging out with Shorty. He took one extra few, I don't know, fentanyl pills or whatever. I think it was fentanyl that
It was laced with fentanyl.
It was
He didn't-
laced with fentanyl. Oh
he
yeah,
didn't
exactly.
know he was buying fentanyl. I don't think.
And then he dropped. And it's so scary because like there's a lot of kids listening to this, and like a lot of people who take drugs. Like a lot of normal people who take drugs, and it's like the idea of like having fentanyl in your shit and you're just fucking, you drop.
Yeah, exactly.
After
But you see,
taking-
fentanyl is a weird one because it's part of like it's like a downer, right? So you're not gonna. Chances are you probably won't find it in like cocaine, because it goes against
Molly.
the whole, or Molly potentially, because Molly.
As an upper.
No, Molly. I mean, I don't think it's considered as much as of an upper as that. I think Molly. There's a certain like slowness to it, but I think you could probably get away with cutting Molly with fentanyl more than you could with.
But why do
cocaine.
people put fucking fentanyl in?
Because it's super cheap. You don't need a lot of it, and it gets people really really high. So like for like downers like opioids and shit like that cost a lot of money. You could get a similar effect with this cheap, very potent drug. And people that buy let's say you buy oxys and they're cut with fentanyl, the oxys are fucking good because the fentanyl is strong as shit and it's super cheap. So people take the drugs and they're like, holy shit, this hits me. So it's actually like, and this is just me talking there, but I feel like it almost adds something to the product. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay, so there is an element to it.
Yeah, like it makes people, like fentanyl is very strong. It's like I think 10 times stronger than oxys or heroin or some shit.
What the fuck?
But,
It's scary time. Scary
yeah.
time to take drugs, man.
Yeah, but that's
You-
why
like-
I would highly suggest people just get like testing kits, drug testing kits.
Yeah, but
which
everybody
I don't.
says it, but nobody does it.
Yeah,
bro.
I know, but the thing is that I think they're pretty expensive, and like you have to like every time you buy, you have to get more.
Oh, that's
You know,
why.
so it's not like
nobody's
a one-
I'm not gonna pay $100 for drugs and get $100 kit. Like,
Yeah,
fuck it.
exactly.
Just gotta fucking roll the dice,
Exactly,
which is what everyone does
and until you die, yeah.
until you die. Yeah.
There's so yeah, the prostitutes, man. Some of them just.
Yeah, like I don't want to say that it's it's
Imagine being a
completely
prostitute,
wrong
like, you
or
don't
that
have-
it's completely right. There's something
But
that
imagine
feels
being a
completely
prostitute-
off about it, like and disturbing. The fact that you're paying for that
For company.
but
But yo, people pay $100 an hour for a psychologue.
yeah,
A
which is,
psychologist who won't even listen to you and give you proper anything. Really, can't even give you meds. You know what I'm saying? For $100 an hour, bro.
So a psychologist will diagnose you with something. A psychotherapist is like the
Yeah.
person that like really talks to you and like
Yeah.
about your feelings and shit. But I think it's worth having a therapist
Yeah, I think
because it's the one person you could completely say everything.
yeah,
like,
if
not
they're
hold
good,
back.
if they're good, I would rather if a one that can prescribe me like drugs. Like I would like tell
That's
to
a
that.
psychologist, yeah.
No,
Oh,
not a psychologist.
Psychologist
No,
diagnoses
psychotherapist,
only.
I guess,
yeah.
or like
No, no, no.
psychiatrist. Psychiatrist
Okay,
could
they could prescribe.
drugs,
Okay, yeah.
So like a psychiatrist, like I feel like I would, but just because I'm crazy, I would like tell her what she needs to hear for her to give
No,
me
but
like
they could
Adderall.
sense that. They could sense that because I remember going to the doctor like everybody else in university and be like,
For, like,
I can't concentrate.
I'm so crazy, but also like cancel my whole year. Like I've had like 0% everywhere. So I'm like, sorry, I was depressed. So I would go to the psychologist for like 3 sessions. Cost me $600. And they would be like, oh, this person has like issues.
Serious depression.
So
So
the
take off
whole,
his zeros.
so yeah, exactly.
So there were semesters where you just didn't go to school.
There were semesters where I would have 0% because I would get high before class and then feel too self-conscious because I was 15 minutes late. So I'm like, fuck it, I'll just skip. And then I was at Dawson, so I just like be in the food court, like rolling joints and doing drugs. Like it was probably the worst time of my life, bro. I was so depressed because I knew I was also getting zeros. So every morning I'd go to school knowing I wouldn't like go to school. Oh, it was so bad. It was so bad. This is right before dropping out and like moving out and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's definitely a phase in your 20s where it's fucking dark
Oh.
as shit. You're just so confused about who you are, what you're doing. You're depressed and anxious. You have no idea.
Yeah.
There was no self-awareness back in our early 20s. There wasn't like, you could have labeled it like, I'm depressed
Yeah.
or like, I'm anxious.
Yeah.
Like I had no labels
No
on
limit.
shit.
It
I was
was-
just feeling it.
Yeah, and
I
like,
was just
hanging with
like,
the boys.
Yeah, hanging with the boys, you're fucking burning inside.
Yeah,
you have
yeah,
no idea. You
yeah.
just, you take whatever drugs they offer you and you fucking...
But it's true that we used to do fucking insanely stupid shit just because we weren't fucking healthy in our fucking heads, you know?
Yeah, early 20s are not fun. The older I get, the better I become at like life, I would say.
Yeah. Or like, yeah, like taking a step back, seeing it from another perspective. I
Yeah,
think
seeing it
that's
from
so
another
important.
perspective and be like, yo, your 20s kind of suck. Like as much as people want to make it sound like
Yeah,
young
I
and
would
fun,
say-
like,
I would say
20s
if I
weren't
had-
that fun
No.
at all.
But yeah, I mean, there were a lot of new...
A lot of parties
I
and
would
shit,
say
but-
like the best thing you could do in your 20s is have fun. Like meet the people that you need to meet for your life to be better because there's so many great people out there. Like I would say like in your 20s, develop relationships that will last you up until you're 40 years old.
Yeah,
you know
but
what I'm saying?
it's hard to like
Work
know-
relationships. Like people that you could build
No,
things
no.
with.
If you just fall into the right field in your 20s,
Yeah, people don't know what the fuck they want to do though. Like I
Yeah.
remember my friends looking at me funny because I didn't know what I wanted to go because I wasn't in university. I had friends that like graduated university, but when I started university, you know, so it was like people are just like and then those people are unhappy or
not now. Yeah,
like
I-
quit their jobs or like and become like fucking vegan.
yeah. And it's funny because you could have things figured out too, and then like go back to being confused. Like even
Yeah,
me,
exactly,
I'm like, do I
exactly.
really want to fucking?
Yeah, like me, this whole podcast is a lot of confusion, you know? I could have, you know what I'm saying? Like I could have just like, yeah, I'm just gonna make my music for my whole life and shit. But like, no, let's like let's put myself in an uncomfortable situation right now. And
Yeah.
let's be confused a little bit, you know?
No. The podcast is something I fuck with.
I fuck with it too, but it's confusing. Like it's not like
It's confusing when you're publishing it. I find because you're like, what the fuck
Fuck
are we
am I
publishing?
doing? Yeah, exactly.
But like doing it itself and making the activity out of it
Yeah.
on a weekly basis,
I think it's a form of therapy as well.
You think so?
For me and you, yeah.
It's therapeutic in a sense.
Yeah, like we talk about like, you know, we're pretty honest about certain things and, you know, we're not talking about necessarily our feelings, but like just our point of view and shit.
Yeah.
I think it's not. I think if more people did what we were doing without the cameras and the microphones and stuff, there would be way less mental health issues. Like I feel like the role of a psychologist in our today's society
Just
is
listen to-
replaces friends, like real relationships with friends.
Yeah, and there was an author who made an interesting point. He's like, as much as there's gonna be more and more separation of wealth in the future, and the people who have money are gonna be able to afford face-to-face interactions with other humans, whereas the poorer you get, your life becomes more and more digital.
Yeah, that's it's super interesting.
So the luxury of interacting with humans. No, well, interacting with humans is going to become a luxury.
Also, yeah, exactly.
In the
Being
future.
off the grid, you know, being like not being online and having real life experiences.
Like
That's
going
going to
to
be for the
islands.
elite.
Yeah, going to an island
And
where
with
like
the
everybody's
lunchbox.
young with a lunchbox and everything. It's going to be for the most part, if you're broke, you could only afford like the PlayStation 10
Yeah,
and you'll emerge in a metaverse, or you'll get the chip from Elon Musk and be
yeah,
like,
and be like, he knows when my eyes are open.
yeah, and then you just log in and then you're out.
It's gonna be like that episode of Black Mirror where you can't even close your eyes to see if you don't want to see the ad. You know, he's gonna
Oh
know when
my
your eyes are
God.
open. You know.
Oh my god, I can imagine chips like resurfacing. Like you could learn Spanish with a chip,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then you put the chip. in
Hola,
front of-
mi amigo.
and then all you see is advertisements, and you're like, "Fuck,
Yeah, fucking Christ.
fuck my
need to
life. It's in my brain."
You need to speak 5 languages if you want this job.
That's
You need to update.
oh my god, that's where I'm gonna draw the line. I'm like, all right, guys, I'm becoming the old conservative guy.
Yeah.
I'm
All
out.
right. I'm out.
I'm out.
All right,
This is when I become crazy and I go shelter up in a cabin.
Yeah.
And I'm the crazy
I become
guy.
a survivalist.
I
Y'all
become
could
I'm
kill
joining.
yourselves.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like entering a chip that could fuck with your brain would be fucking that'd be hell.
Yeah.
Already just like having phones and laptops is overwhelming. Imagine like a chip in your brain, bro. Like that just shows you
Yeah.
ads you don't want to see.
Yeah. Because they could like project things in your eye. Oh shit.
Oh my god,
Oh,
that's
shit.
making me anxious.
Yeah,
just
but
talking
imagine the
about it.
things that we don't know, like that. You know, like internet, like was an army thing before it was available to the public.
Oh my god, imagine those chips that like
Already exist for like soldiers and shit.
Yeah.
You know, soldiers like when they put on their like in Iraq, for example, like when they put on their helmet, they have noise canceling.
headphones.
Yeah, well, it's like you don't hear the sound of the battlefield. You don't even hear the sound of your own gun. You know,
But that would be a disadvantage, no?
no, because
If
you
I
have
hear steps coming. I'm
no,
like,
no, you have that. You have that for sure, but you have noise canceling like.
Oh, certain sounds.
Certain sounds and shit, and you also have enhanced vision. Like you could,
Yeah.
you have like things in your
You could see.
VCR
Yeah.
and like identify. You know, there's some crazy shit.
Yeah,
that-
but they had GPS like fucking 75 years ago.
yeah. For like with the one satellite they had.
Yeah, with the one satellite they had, they're like, oh shit. Yeah, man. So
Anyways,
that's,
the end of the world is pretty much nigh. So yeah, goodbye.
Yeah, I don't know what to say.
But let's not end on a sad
yeah,
note.
I don't want to
this.
end on a sad note
Yeah.
either.
Let's,
Let's make it uplifting.
Let's.
I said, like, do you guys want to hear a song? No, let's not do a song. Did too many songs. Arahamdu. Okay, no.
Fuck, bro. I hate answering these texts, bro.
Man, I can't get any connection. I really want to post my Instagram story, guys. Like, there's like so many people like watching.
We're gonna have to cut this as well.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if we could react to one last video. Make
One last
us
video,
make
guys.
us make us happy times.
Make us happier than we were.
So yo, okay, I don't have much.
Okay, guys, if you're going through hard times, you know, make sure to watch.
This is
TikTok
a really
videos.
interesting clip, but I think it's gonna make us go into too much of a long conversation.
Okay.
I'm just gonna spit one quick fact that I think is interesting. So I learned this week that women are better at smelling their significant other than men are. So like they did a test where they like sprayed smells.
Perfumes or whatever.
No, I think it was more like
A body?
like body odor
Oh, yeah.
on t-shirts, and they asked women to identify their significant other, and they did the same thing with a man, and the women is better at that
Oh, yeah?
than men. Yeah,
What's funny is that our sweats have a perfume.
yeah.
And like there's certain sweats that you won't like, your body's
Yeah.
like repulsed by,
Mhm.
and there's certain sweats that you're attracted to.
Mhm.
So I think they did a similar experiment with people smelling armpits and having to pick blindly
Yeah,
like a date. I think it was. I wasn't sure.
that's wild.
yeah, and then like they would.
I was already with a girl that like I didn't like her smell, so I
Me
just
too.
couldn't.
I remember seeing a girl. I'm like, I fucking hate her smell,
Yeah,
and I couldn't see her.
no, it was
anymore.
the worst. Tried to make it work every time I'd be sleeping.
And she was like
beside her, I
somewhat
was-
cute.
Yeah,
she was
I
somewhat
know,
cute.
dude. All my friends were like, "Yo, she's so cute." I'm like, "Yeah, but she smell weird."
She smells like her house smell or her body smell was just unattractive to me.
No.
Yeah, that is a weird
So
thing.
on that note, guys, if you want to find true love, dating culture doesn't exist, bro. Tinder, you guys are missing an element. You guys need to include a smell fucking chart,
Smell factor.
or smell chart, so people could stop wasting their time with these fucking dates that don't go anywhere. You understand?
Yeah.
So if you guys need us to like help your business out, like yo, let us fucking know, bro. You guys could become a sponsor. Easy stuff.
If you're interested in getting on a Zoom call and having a conversation with us,
Let's do it right now, bro.
We have
we're-
rates for that where we become a friend for only $100.
A minute.
A minute? No, a minute.
Yeah, a minute. Fuck it.
$100.
But if you guys want to find love, make sure you smell your friends. Make sure you smell your significant other. Make sure that you're not getting involved in something that smells weird. You know what I'm saying? You don't want that.
And what's the name of the artist friend that was supposed to come?
Shout out to Words by Junie, who
Thanks for coming, man.
fucking definitely showed up. You know,
He was here.
I hope your date went well.
In spirit.
I hope she smelt okay. And guys, on that note, I think like,
a wrap.
subscribe, leave a comment if you guys fuck with it. If you guys have any questions, share it to a friend. Do all that stuff. We love you very much. Much love, and we'll see you next week, my guy.
All right, peace, guys.
Yeah, peace.
Ciao. Bro, how much residue do I have on my ear from the?
Yo, what? That's so crazy.
What's
La
it called?
merde, bro.
What's it
Parce qu'en fait, because I forgot my headphones somewhere. Oh wow, you have a lot of residue, my guy.
Last week, you had different headphones.
Yeah, I know, but I switched them because I thought these ones were better, but clearly not. 'Cause the other ones
It just gives residue, but whatever. Okay, Araham.